I'm Guy McConnell. I'm the one of the founders of Burn. I'm going to be joined by Julie Cheetham, who's my business partner, and we're going to do a double act on this quick presentation for you. And when we were briefed on this, we were told, keep it short, keep it sweet, and try and keep it entertaining. So here is our best effort to do that. We were blessed, of course. This is one of those rare occasions where the most important thing on your front slide is the date. So we are a relationship marketing agency. We specialise in building relationships. And of course, this, I believe, Sunday is Valentine's Day. And I hope you've all secured your cards and gifts, etc., for your important other person in your life. So we thought, well, let's have a look at that. Let's look at relationships and let's explain what we do in the context of those relationships. So I will whiz through this presentation if I can actually get the thing to go forward. Excuse me. There we go. As I say, hello from us. We create rewarding relationships, and we do that between businesses and prospects, and we call that PRM, prospect relationship management, between businesses and their customers, customer relationship management, which you, I'm sure, are more familiar with, and also, and increasingly, something we're investing more and more time in with clients, businesses and employees, particularly in this time of work from home, during the COVID period, people becoming disconnected. We're doing lots of work in the ERM space, employee relationship management. And it's all about creating lust and building love. We're pretty smoking hot, just so you know, credibility wise. We've been voted the UK's #1 CRM agency for 5 of the last 6 years. Ooh, sorry. Why do relationships matter? Business relationships are, of course, very similar to romantic relationships. So if we imagine when we first start dating, we go out and we spend money on restaurants, on flowers, on wooing and wining and dining, etc. And then we fall into a committed relationship and we stop trying to please our partner. So we ignore them, we stop talking to them, we take them for granted, etc. The odds are that that relationship will crash and burn very quickly. So the same is true of customers. The more you communicate with them, the more you show them that you appreciate them, the more likely you are to keep them and generate long-term revenue from them. So that is why relationships matter. They're not that easy, though. They're certainly not as easy as the image on the right indicates. So what we thought was we'll give you a bit of relationship advice. So these are our top tips on starting and maintaining good relationships. And hopefully they'll be more useful than the tip on the right-hand side, where this individual asked for some help and got a quote from Destiny's Child as the relationship advice that she wanted. So we've broken this into 2 halves. So the first half is tips for pulling, which is effectively prospect relationship management. So how do we get someone who is new to your brand to put themselves on, put your brand on the consideration list and ultimately convert to purchase? So our 4 tips in this area. Firstly, leverage data insight to find potential matches and ideally use as many relevant data points as possible. So basically, this is all about understanding who you're targeting and making sure that you spend your money where it's most likely to be effective. So you need to understand the data points and that will affect that and that will drive the most cost-effective acquisition strategies. So we say here, sorry, Tinder, it's not about the looks. So Tinder works very well, but it's only one data point. What you need is many data points like Bill, 69, the handyman on the right-hand side, who is a single attractive man looking for a woman to cook his supper. He ain't got no time for games because he works and he only has time for hanky-panky, okay? And the woman I choose must be physically fit, spelt wrong, because I'm pretty much a Clydesdale, okay. I don't want kids, so don't be asking me to make you a baby, Karen. Macaroni and cheese is my favourite food, but not Kraft, okay. Thanks. I have a Leveron and Hall and Oates, but Hall and Oates make good music. So what we're really saying here is make sure you have as many data points as possible, understand what makes someone like Bill tick, does he match what you're trying to do, and then target him. Tip 2. Develop a compelling chat-up line that's likely to appeal to your audience. Now, this is really important. So this is the key message that you go in with. This is the thing that's going to attract their attention and hopefully ultimately get them to go through a relationship path with you and convert. Really important to make sure you get the right pitch to the right audience. And that's not always a generic message. It can be a more personalized or segmented message. And remember, we always say to our clients, better looking businesses pull more. So you have to bear in mind that your assets need to be as slick as possible. Make sure you're invested in good quality communications. Tip 3, slowly catch your monkey, never lunge in too early. So the story here is that our opinion is that prospects are exactly like customers. You need to build a relationship. It's not all about a one-hit wonder. And if it is about a one-hit wonder, you're relying on luck for a future relationship. So take your time, invest in building up your communications and taking people on a journey through to conversion, and making sure that through that journey, you're picking up quality customers that will remain with you for the long term. And tip 4, never underestimate the power of thoughtful gifts. So very important to think incentives when you're looking to implement a prospect relationship management journey. They still work, despite what some people say. So communications can help, but always good to have a tip over incentive. And try to think through that incentive and make sure it's as thoughtful as possible for your target audience. Unlike this fella on the right-hand side who bought his girlfriend a lettuce, thinking it was a bunch of flowers. So I'll hand over to Julie and she'll take through the second half.
Okay, so I get to talk to you about keeping them satisfied, which is no mean feat, but hopefully I can chat to you a bit about this through to the happy ending. So we're on to customer relationship management proper now. So this is once you've converted a prospect. What do we need to do? Well, we need to learn to love their foibles. So they may be loving and loyal, but they also may tend towards promiscuity. And back to the data points, we need to continue observing their behavior here. So what are they up to? What are they reacting to? What are they into? What are they responding to? Only by observing them across several data points will you know how to keep them keen. So that's tip number 1. Tip 2. No surprises, but regular communication is a secret to success. Yeah, we all know it's good to talk, but this is really about creating a genuine dialogue with a value exchange at its heart. We see a lot of people that create monologues and just blast messages at people. This is very much about meeting mutual needs. It's about genuine value exchange. It's about keeping the channel mix fresh and varied, and really just about a genuine discourse. So don't be the dinner party bore, but ask questions and create genuine dialogue. Tip 3, keep things fresh with surprises. So you've probably all heard of random acts of kindness, and they really do have a place in your CRM program. Not nasty surprises like you run off with the neighbour or the milkman, but nice surprises. Maybe not a lettuce, and maybe something more imaginative than flowers, but random acts of kindness in a relationship and in a CRM program definitely have a place. There are some very famous ones that lead to lots of talkability, and they lead the unexpected gift leads to high levels of brand bonding. So think about those. Don't always think about the revenue and the take, but think about the give and take. And tip 4 is all about the effort. So if you do put the effort in, you will be repaid tenfold. So if you're running a genuine nurture program, and there are plenty that aren't, there are plenty of CRM programs or eCRM programs that actually just spam. But if you are setting up a genuine nurture program and you're genuinely helping, people towards meeting their needs, you're helping people to buy, you're not cross-selling. Those are the sorts of relationships where you will get rewarded because they are reciprocal. So do that, spend the time on that, and you will get return on your investment. Okay, so that's the end of our tips. We just wanted a little word about you, us, and Pimento. Obviously, one of the reasons we're all here is we can all help one another. So you, us, and Pimento together. We wrote this little Lonely Hearts out to say we'd love to work with more of you on our rich and rewarding relationships. So if you know of any of your clients where we'd be complementary to you on CRM, PRM, or even ERM, the employee internal side of things, then let's hook up. We can have a long-term partnership or a short-term hookup. And it's probably best to do that through David Morley. And then we can chat further. But just to say that we really value this partnership and Pimento, it's really delivered business for us, and long may that continue. And finally, if we go on to the next slide, we are next moving into some breakout rooms. So we're saying get a room, maybe talk about some of these topics. We thought it'd be quite fun to talk about any clients that you might fancy, where we can share clients, maybe talk about how we can keep those client relationships fresh. Or perhaps you've got some rocky relationships where we can all help one another in how to save those. So there are a few thoughts for the breakout rooms, but I think the main purpose is to get to know a few people, just to exchange some ideas. So back over to Stephen on that note.